Okay, welcome everybody again to a new development session for the Notula. So I did a lot of work F camera. What I've done is I fixed our user controller, which was just some issues with cores and other security settings where the request did not get through. I finished all the tests. I also did I added some tests for SQL injection, which you can see here. Where you basically try to say oh, exists this email with and then a funky string which normally would do something which you do not want in your database. For instance, this should install oh, where email equals, and then it would open the single quote and put in your email, and this would be the value then you would put in there where email equals x, and then the comma as in end of statement, which would be false, but then the next statement would run as well saying drop table users, and then dash dash as in ignore all the rest, which would then be the trailing single quote. Or the second is where you say well, where email equals empty, or well, 1 equals 1. Note the missing single quote because that will be terminated by my code then technically. And here as well, you can just say oh yeah, well, let's just select everywhere, every user. But all of these will just work. It will just return false, which kind of makes sense because it's not a boolean. Well, it's a boolean, whatever. SQL injection is, I guess, a bit more interesting when um, when you run with a real select statement. But you can still do some funky stuff with this. So in the meantime, I have my database running. Can I attach shell? So I can show you that I have there is a database, well, a flyway for scheme, a schema history, and then I have a table user base. So if I do select star from users, it is currently not empty. I already executed one. So this is my user I've created through Postman using the very secure password, which gets hashed, of course. And so that's it. Then I already started creating some front end. And I actually did this using some AI. So it needs some cleanup, and I'm thinking let's do that today. So what do we see? So on the right side, that's why I have this here. This is what the AI generated, and I actually don't mind it. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty nice, pretty modern. Maybe a bit too white, but that's okay. Of course, login doesn't work. I can type in whatever I want. And this is a very secure login. See, so it tries to push it, submit it, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. You can see it as well in my console. Where's my console? Um, I'm not used to running in such a here. You can see that actually no request actually gets put into. That's something we also have to work on, really logging every request instead of now. Anyway, so you also have a register page where this field still needs to be fixed because it looks horrible. Also, the outline on the icon is horrible. But as I said, this is all AI generate. I haven't done too much cleanup on it, but so I can create a new user. See, I did already do some changes with it. I'm not so sure if this should be a toggle or like a push and hold type of system, but I like the toggle so you can really see, and if you want, you can really compare if you feel secure, if you feel safe in your environment. So I can register. Registration failed. Why is that the case? My application is running. It's running at the correct port. Port 7000, yes. also a bit annoying that my register then gets wiped clean. That it shouldn't do. Or maybe it should. Maybe password it should. Yeah, let's just create it. Which is currently in my register page. Okay, I definitely have to do my plugin. Give me a second as well. Svelte. Enable it for this workspace. Yes, please. Okay, that looks okay. It looks better, but that's on my Svelte page. What to my Svelte page? Okay. So it's better. There already is some default checks on it. I did most of this stuff myself. Yeah, the redirect is probably not to home, so there's still a lot of things to work on. The keys all still have to be done and be fixed. But this is the register, and this should say user client create, and that should all work. Yes, 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 and that's actually what I was looking for. I can't click on it. Why not? I'm also not sure whether this is actually the correct way to do it. Now I'm thinking of it. Should this not be here? Import method? No, maybe not. But anyway, so that is somewhere here in my Svelte. I know you somewhere where you at some point have .env, you have an .env file. Oh, it didn't include my .env file. I see the problem. .env apparently did not get pushed. It's not 3007,000 iron. Slash API. Okay. So now info at test, and I say password test 123456. Test 123456. Then it received the message you were registered, and I can try to log in, but this doesn't do anything. And that's also not what I want to focus on today. You can see that like okay, yeah, it shows please fill in this field. I'm not sure if I like this one. I might try to avoid that. I mean, like yes, the required field, and I understand your browser gives you assistance on it, but I prefer to have it more red with the message underneath. And even if you fill it in, then yeah, so now it will say for this password, I can type whatever I want, I can thingy, and then it will say message, passwords do not match, but I want to have this red as well. Technically, I want to have this I button in the field and not outside of it. So these are things we're going to do today. And I was thinking on maybe trying to see if we can vibe code a bit, as in like ask the AI to do stuff for us. So let's go quickly full screen and do text or chat. I know for a fact, can I clear this one for a second? Okay. I know that some people use AI a lot more and they really constantly ask him to say, yeah, no, change this, change that, fix this. I'm not there. I'm definitely not there. I've done a lot of stuff myself. So yeah. But it's interesting to see what he can do. I mean, like when I just said, like, okay, generate me a login page, generate me a registration page, he actually did it, and it was very clean. Well, very clean until I asked him to split it, and then he just duplicated all the CSS, which was horrible. I'm gonna accept it. I'm curious. So apparently this is already, yeah, ridiculous. Formatting is also off horribly, unbelievable. He also shouldn't have done it in the users library. Move the component to a form folder directly. So I will show you the CSS. So this is the CSS of the complete app, which is, well, the login page actually. So it's a very specific landing, which I'm okay with. But then if you look at the CSS of the register page, it's like, I already did clean it up a bit. So, I mean, it's already also not as bad as it was before. Okay, so that's good. He moved it. I hope he moved. Did he not delete the old one? Move to trash. It's just ridiculous. So this is also like just wrong. Why would you have the state in here? There is no point for that. Anyway, okay, so I was busy or trying to show off as well, like the CSS. As I said, I already fixed it. I already moved a lot of the actual register to the regular app. But it's still interesting, like if I show, I think I have here, wait, I have a register link. There's a register form. Then I'll probably have the login link, for instance. You can tell one by one, this is just exactly the same. So my login link and the register link is exactly the same. Here, the link with a ref is also the same, which I don't know why you would want to make this like separate for it. So for now, I'm just gonna say this is NEA, this is NEA hover, and then I know I can just remove these two as well, and then I have to change it. But let's see what AI did. Okay, let's just say keep. That's gone. Yeah, let's clean up a bit. So that's good, except then that this needs formatting, some serious formatting. This is now no longer used. And so this is what something that a lot of people, or like I know people, would actually say like, oh yeah, even that they wouldn't clean up. They would just, yeah, export let. What the hell is all this? What? I don't want any of this. But they would like let the AI clean it up as well. Oh, okay, I understand why. This is actually kind of a props system he is doing. He says like, okay, if you have label, ID, name, yes, I see. But why would label, yes, ID, well, in a form it is important because you say label for, the error is important. Autocomplete, yeah, okay. Let's keep it like this for now. The autocomplete doesn't matter at all. Autocomplete because it's a pass. Well, no, it can be current password as well. No, yeah, you're right. Let's do autocomplete. Yeah. Okay, but this is not correct because this should be a state. I feel like he doesn't understand the ruins that well. Yeah. See, that's he should. Wait. Maybe I should tell him that. and then maybe he'll fix it, and then we can focus on the CSS in the meantime. So what do we have here? Register form. Do I have something that is a form already here? Yes, so we have the login form, which is again line for line exactly the same. So does it work? Yes. Is it clean? No. So what am I going to say? I am going to go to this page and I'm going to say the register dash form. I'm going to replace this with login dash form. And then I know that this is not used anymore. And then here I have h2. I'm going to style every h2 like this from now on. I'm not sure whether I really am going to do that, but then I will see. So then this can also be gone. The form group class, which is just a duplicate, so I can remove this. The form group label, I can also just delete. Form group input, that can also just be gone. Password, that one I have to check. Did he actually do something? What? No, you shouldn't. Ruins is a svelte. What? No. Undo. Built in into svelte like dash state and yeah, AI. Anyway, but I hear more and more stories about people who actually do use it. Who do use it and who are experimenting with it and who are doing things with it. Um, yeah, except it doesn't. But okay. Then I will just give him this message. So, but so more and more people are using it, and even I've heard even stories about real companies that actually are doing it for production code. So then here is passwords stuff that is probably not present here. So I will, oh wait, I have an H2 already here. I added another H2, so I have to copy this down so it can be joined. Oh, what am I doing? Wrong key. There. So then that's H2. Also interesting here, I have like form label, and here I have like what's dash form group label stuff. I probably want to merge those as well. So instead of having to say like, yeah, you actually have to use a form group label, you say like, no, every form label will be like this. Am I gonna keep it like that? Maybe not. Maybe I don't want every form label to be like this. But then I will see when I get there. What about the other one? I have an A hover. I'm gonna move these down because these are generic ones, whereas the other ones are class-based. So this is the form group. This is the form group inputs. I don't have any generic input yet. Nope. Which I might want to do at some point as well, but we'll see. Login link. Login link was the last one. That was because you have the register link and then you have the login link, right? Yes, okay, so the register link, let's just say keep, and then see what this error is. Cannot bind to constants. Actually, I mean, like, I kind of like it, just being able to say, like, to the AI, this is the error, fix it. But then again, I also feel like it's very frustrating. There's a login link, this was a registered link, which is basically bullshit because it's not. And I definitely have to change names of it. This is a good example, like an error message. It's more generic. It's more tells you like, okay, this is the class, this is how an error message is shown. Whereas a password group, I don't know, I feel like that's a bit, I mean, like, yeah, it still makes sense, but probably if you think about it, you probably don't want to have this in your app CSS, but you probably want to have it more in a CSS like style here, if it's possible. I don't know. I have to look into that. What the hell did they do now? There is no type on props all of a sudden. A few days ago, I was actually in like another vibe coding session with a fellow colleague. Um, and I don't know, it was a bit frustrating as well because like we knew exactly what the problem was. We saw the problem. We're like, okay, we know exactly what to do, and yet it was like, oh yeah, but we should AI to fix it. I'm like, but we are two capable developers. We know exactly what we have to do. Why would we let AI fix it when AI clearly cannot fix it? That's a bit weird. I mean, like, it takes AI so much longer. Yes, but you have to train it and you have to make it so it actually learn it, and in the future, then it will be faster and it will be better. If you say so. Okay, so our login page still looks good. Our register page still looks good. I think CSS gets updated automatically, but I can wait. For good sake, I can just kill this and run it again. And then we have, yes. So our CSS still looks exactly the same. I hope everything still works the same. This still works, this still works. Register, yes, that still works. Okay, so most of it is good. I probably should have written tests for it first. But let's see. Because now here you have like password for, like, I don't want form group password group on here. I want to have like a class name password field or something. That's what I want to change. And actually, this is going to be an interesting test. I am going to just do it. Let's see, password, not group, but password field. Et voila, our styling is gone. That's good. I'm also not sure what the standard is. Should it be camel case? Best practice was just kebab case. Yes, okay, so they go indeed for this. So I have password field now. And then technically, if I just open the, well, I'm gonna try this new file. Should I call it form.css? Maybe I should just call it form.css, not password field. And then I have to look at app. Let's open this up again, put it next to each other. Where is my password stuff? Okay, so this was my password, toggle password focus. Okay, all of this I'm gonna put in here, so then I can work on that on the side. This I can close. Can I hide chat as well? Yes. Okay. So I have form.css now, which is not imported yet. That's why I have to import it. And then I say import form doesn't exist. Slash form.css. Yes. Okay. And yet it does not work. Password fields. That's also because password field. Ah, yes, because all of this now is wrong. I actually don't know. Was there something with why was there? I think it was just a selector for the other ones down here. But why would you do that? Ah, because there are multiple diffs. I'm also not sure whether this is a good idea to import the CSS in here, because does that not mean that if I look inspect that this component will now have its own style stuff? No, actually I don't see any styling. Where did all my styling go to? No, it's just in the root. It's in the head. I have a head app.css and I have a form.css. Interesting. But so does that mean that actually that I can still use my styling of my form outside? That's something I have to look up as well, whether that's going to work or not. I'm not that much of a front-end person. But so this does not, of course, work because it's password field. And then I should say password field. But then I guess this I don't even need. And it's more like this then. Something is still off. There was also the form group, which might have impact as well. So I should still say this is a form group. Password field. So then I think this might not matter. And then I think we are back where we were. Okay. Yes, this should also use the password field, but for the time being it doesn't. So it is a form group, of course. Well, form group, yeah, yeah. Label for ID, label, pom 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 pom. Tab index -1. That's smart. So the button is indeed not. Toggle password focus outline. I don't know why you would do this. So apparently there is CSS to really put this on there. I don't know. I don't understand. Never do this. Now this is better. Okay. I don't understand, but that's okay. So yeah, I think this might be where I already end this session. Still have to fix to actually showing this positioning wise, but I've tried doing that with AI and that was like almost impossible. There is no tooltip, which I probably also want to do. It has an ARIA label with no tooltip. Tooltip also not translated, which is maybe bad. This is also horrible that the props doesn't have any type. I prefer to have real types for all my props. But okay, but at least this one looks cleaner. Something I also want to do is, do I have a button already? No, right? Class button primary. Here, dot button. I don't understand why you want to have a dot button. I understand you say it's a primary or like yeah, a button primary button, whatever. So you can do stuff like this, but I don't understand why you would have a class dot button. No, maybe I do understand because you can say it's a button dot primary. You can just make this and you don't have to do it in here. You say okay, it's a button primary. Maybe it's not yeah that bad to do it. I don't know. I haven't worked that much with CSS, so phone filtering padding right. Okay, so the last thing, actually, one thing that I still want to do is I want to the input should have a class name as well to mark it as error. How does it work? Ah, no, it now just works with password field input. Yeah. Okay. But oh, what was I saying? Ah, yes, and the button actually wants to make the button like maybe all uppercase. So I do button text transform uppercase. How does that look like? It seems very heavy to me, actually. It seems very violent. But I think a lot of platforms actually do it. Like, but I think this might just be the case because of the button class that makes it too heavy. Border radius in font size 1.1 rem. Why 1.1? Just 1 rem. It doesn't actually even require 1 rem. Yes, okay. Font weight, I mean, like here as well, the font weight, that just makes it so heavy. Probably want to lower it a bit, maybe like 400, 500. Maybe 600, that's not that bad actually. Yeah, 600 is not bad. Text decoration, none. Okay, I'm not sure why you would do that, but okay. Box shadow, cursor pointer, yes, okay. So that looks pretty good to me. So the question now is whether indeed we put it on the button, like every button will be like this, or whether we keep it like the dot button. I mean, like, because the whole thing is, you can also do button dot primary and button primary hover. You don't need to have the class on it. You can first start with a, oh damn, I've, okay. So then, and all of this here, the dot button, you don't need a class selector. You can just do an HTML tag selector. And then of course, this should actually go down. So text transform, text decoration, padding border. Probably I should want to do this alphabetically. And then the button still looks exactly like it was. still has the hover, still has all the things. And then of course in here we can say, in my page, this doesn't have to be a button anymore, because you know it's a button. See? You don't need that. Oh, this one went shorter. Did we see that? Oh, and now it's longer again. Sometimes CSS can be a bit funky if you with caching and stuff, but it's all good now. This looks pretty good to me. What I also want to do is I probably want to extract this to a regular form field, like an input field or something, or a text field. Text field? I don't know. Yeah, probably text field. Actually, notice this doesn't even have a type. This one, probably because text is the default one. Why? Because this doesn't have the error message yet, and I actually do want all of my fields to have the error message. I want all of my fields to have the border, and then this actually could become autocomplete as any. Yeah, because autocomplete, yeah, for some reason, of course, there is no. How come he knows that like ID is a string? Because it's default. Autocomplete also is a. Okay, yeah, because autocomplete is a string, but actually it should be full autofill, null, or undefined. Yeah, and then it should be. I don't know how to do types on this thing. Okay, for now, AI I will use as any, but I don't like it. I will never do it. Okay. So that's the way to get it. It has the bind value property it gives, and it has label, ID, name, error, yes. And the autocomplete. The label should be translated. Still lots of work. This, for instance, actually is a very nice usage, I feel. Like, okay, I have subtitle. That's a real usage because I put in a paragraph. Style with 100. Yeah, so this is also something I probably wouldn't want to do. I would do class primary and I can full width probably. Full width. And then full width just becomes here like a dot. Full width with 100%. Why? Because I think we might have a lot of other components we also want to do full width. We have form fields. Actually, is this not mentioned somewhere that this is full width in the form? I think it might be as well. Not in here anyway. But of course, there are still form groups in here. Maybe because it's a flex, and then it says like the flex 50% transform. Yeah, that's all this thing need to get. Why? Whoa, why? Since when did this actually get the shadow around it? Because it's a button. That's why when I made this button, it all applied to those buttons as well. That's okay, because actually I probably don't want to make this a button. Okay, so so what I probably want to do is I want to do a not class toggle password, but maybe like an icon, and then if I do button.icon, that's a bit annoying. Maybe I should say button text. Which one's before? Toggle password, okay. So this is obsolete. And this has become this one, right? Okay. Class, this should not be icon, I forgot. Well, maybe I can just always say like a button is a regular one, but in for case of an icon button, I want to have box shadow none as well. And then it looks already back to normal again. Then of course I'm fighting against this because I'm like making all of this. Z index is 2. That's the depth, yeah. Can I do a tab index? Does that exist? No, probably not, right? No, that's not a CSS property. Z index is for the depth where it is, and I don't think it really matters that much, but okay. But so we are working on making our thing reusable because now I can use button icons everywhere. This is the regular button, this is a button icon, this is the primary button, this is a thingy. Good. Okay, but that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. Tomorrow we'll work on some more things and we'll ask AI to add. Well, first probably, well, maybe okay, on lasting, level lasting. Let's try to be. Let's see if it can actually do something interesting. Write tests for the password field component. I'm curious to know what he actually is gonna do. And after this, we'll leave it, and then I'm gonna tomorrow we'll try to extract. Once install npm install means save dev testing libraries Svelte. Yes, that's allowed. Okay. Insert in terminal, in front end, yes. So it should be installed now. Why is it not working? The imports is really horrible. I'm also not sure if this is really how you do spell test. I should look at my some other project. But yeah. So it seems like he created some tests on Qt test agent, renders label an error, binds values and updates on input, toggles password usability. Okay, but this the test is really weird. Get by text. error. Uh, not so sure if I want it like this. What would I want to test? First of all, of course, you do a regular render. If you look at the field, you do a regular render, no errors. You do a regular error. You do a regular render with error. So this is what I should do. I will do. So okay, I will do render without error, render with error. Then you have the toggle visibility, and you have the toggle invisibility, I guess, kinda. So you always do both, which is a bit annoying because for this one you actually yeah, you first already have to toggle it to become visible, and then you have to become toggle to make it invisible again. But I would do two separate tests, so I typically do, even though yes, they kind of depend upon each other. But fine. Then indeed, I would do like, well, probably first I would do like typing in input updates value. Yes, typing. Is that how you write typing? Pom pom pom. Then okay, you have to go show. Yes, the error message. Yes. Well, the error message is already basically because it's a prop. It's just rendering. That's fine. That's it, I guess. Nothing more. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests, I guess. You only wrote 4. Yeah, if you collapse these two together, shows eye and eye slashed icons correctly. I mean, this is something you would do together with the visibility, I guess. Why, like, okay, you're gonna check the type. I understand, but the eyes should be in there as well. This doesn't make any sense that the icons are separate. Actually, I'm also thinking the eyes actually are components themselves, so they should or could be mocked. Yes. I'm also thinking, like, I'm not sure, like, probably have to make changes to SVG as well for today's component, that you actually can control the color from outside. They can say, like, yeah, okay, I want to have this type of color of the icon instead of saying current color, which I don't know where it comes from, but I guess, well, that's something you can do in your CSS, like you say, like, oh, every SVG, just give it this color. Yeah, probably, because SVGs, well, icons are typically monochrome. Okay, so I think indeed this is it, basically. This is how indeed the test seems okay. I don't write, well, I don't put my tests in this location anymore, but I found because of mocking, it's easier to have like a real tests folder instead of putting them next to it, but it is a nice beginning. Okay, so tomorrow let's focus on the other field, and then by extracting that, and then our page is nearly done. If we can extract this, if we can add an error field to that one as well, maybe replace things with thingy. I mean, like, this is okay for now. We have the redos, to-dos, and whatever, and like, okay, I'm saying there's no decent error handling. We don't care. I want to start focusing on the core of the application first. But so that will be it for today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.